Hello everyone, this is Maurice. Welcome to my home. In this video we are going to be building our custom finial for our chandelier lamp. We're going to attach the chandelier to the lamp itself, and we are going to do the wiring for this lamp. So I hope you like this video. If you do, please don't forget to subscribe, and subscribe. And let's get right to it. Okay, we are going to quickly build our own custom finial. Now, as we talked about before, when you get your chandelier, there's always extra crystals that come with it, just in case you have an accident, you don't have enough. They always send you extra crystals, which is really nice because it makes it really cheap for us to make our own finial. Now, what we did order was this 6-prong finial for a custom. The 6 prongs here, they can be pulled apart. We're going to do that. Okay, very easy. You just need the 6-prong finial, some crazy glue, and we have a ball chandelier crystal. All we have to do is just line these prongs with a little bit of the glue. There we go. And once we've done that, we have to do is take our crystal, the hanging side where the point is, put it right on top of that finial and push. And it's not going to take, make sure it's nice and straight and even. You don't want it lopsided. You want it to stand up straight when it's on top of your lamp. Push it down and leave it alone. There's nothing else you have to do. In 5 minutes, give it a good 5-10 minutes, it'll be set, and we will be able to use this to put on top of our lamp. Hello everyone, we are now at the tail end of our journey for making this lamp. We have our chandelier all put together. We have it wired correctly. Here we have our lamp put together. We have a turned neck here at the top. That is going to attach to the chandelier. All we have to do is feed our wiring from the top of the lamp to the bottom. Right, I think I've hit bottom. Yep, I have. So I'm going to pull this through. And then all we have to do is attach the chandelier to the lamp. Just going to keep going here until those threads disappear, and we are going to tighten it. There we go. Go. It's on there. I can take some pliers because we want to make sure that it's in there tight. and that those threads are completely all the way in there. There we go. That's good and tight. Our chandeliers together. And now that we have our chandelier attached to our lamp, we want to put the top part of the chandelier on. And that's this little crown looking portion. It goes up here. There's a hole here. It goes in the top of the lamp pipe. And we're going to place it on. And then a nut over top. Over top. Hold on, let me dig that off the floor. Alright, for climbing around for 15 minutes under my desk, I finally found this nut that we are going to put on the top to secure this top portion of the chandelier. Alright, here. Sorry for the view. I know that you are witnessing my many chins. Now we'll put this on here and tighten it as much as we can tighten it. We don't want it completely tight right now because we do have to hang our chandelier crystals. There's a chain of chandelier crystals that goes from the hole in the top to the hole in the center ring, and we want to be able to align them. So we want it tight, but we don't want it too tight yet. We'll tighten it after, when we're done. There we go. We're good. Let's finish our shade rest. Remember we were talking about the shade rests? It's going to go on the very top of that lamp pipe. It's 1/8 IPS in the interior. It converts to 1/4 on the top. This is what our finial is going to be on the top of. I will put that on. Okay, that is on. Now, as we talked about before, you can always put a shade riser on the top of this, which is what I'm going to do, because actually, if I put the finial on top of this, you're not going to see the finial very well. It's going to set down pretty low within this crown. You want to really be able to get a good look at it. So, put that on. I have here, this is a shade riser. This is going to raise this above the shade rest, and our finial is going to go on top. So this will actually set higher than this crown, and we can see our finial. So we'll go ahead and put that on top of our shade rest. It just screws right on. We have our finial that we made ourselves. Nice, goes on top. Put that on top of our shade riser. Screw it on, and look at that. Nice height, just above the crown. It's going to look really good when it's done. The only thing we have to do now is finish the wiring. And once we finish the wiring, we can go ahead and put on our crystals, and then we'll have completed this project. Alright, it is time now to wire this lamp. Now, we have a couple of things that we have here that are some tools that we need. We have these two things. They are called butt connectors. They are 2218 gauge. What happens is your wires from the chandelier and the wire from the lamp, they're going to go together in this each end, and we're going to crimp them together, and that's going to make a connection for your wires. It's going to be nice and stay safe, and they're barely noticeable. So we're going to be using these. But first of all, we decided when we wired this lamp with the wiring from our chandelier, we put it down through, we realized that this wire is not going to be long enough to reach the wall. So decided to use the cord, this wiring from the lamp itself that we pulled out of the lamp, and this is going to be long enough to reach the wall. It's got the plug on it already, and as the chandelier itself does not have a switch on it, this already has a line switch on it, which makes it much easier for us. So all we really have to do is connect these two wires together. Now, very important when you are working with wiring, if you have a lamp, chandelier, whichever you have this wire that has these two separate wires. They are insulated wires, and then they are connected together to make one. On these wires, there is usually a ground wire. One of these is usually a ground wire, and the way you can tell is because there is usually a visible line on one of these wires that tells you it's the ground wire, or there is a textured strip line that runs along the entire length of this wire, and it would be the same on the chandelier wiring. But as I looked them all over, I found that there was actually no textured strip and no visible line. So these two wires do not have ground wires, which makes it easy for us, which means we can connect whichever wire to whichever wire. It's not going to make a difference. They're both going to work. So a few things we need is we're going to need our wire strippers. This is going to pull the insulation and expose off of that wire and expose the bare wire. And we need our crimping tool, which is going to crimp that wire into these butt connectors. And the most important thing we need for this is our glasses, or we're not going to do anything. So we're going to put our glasses on, and we are going to start with the wire from the chandelier. I pulled this out of the bottom of the lamp just enough so I could get to it and work on it. And if you see this, there's no exposed wires yet, so we need to expose the wires underneath that insulation. We're going to take our wire stripping tool, and we're going to strip off about 1/4 of an inch of that insulation to expose the wire. There we go. That's it. Just cut that down, and we're going to pull that insulation off. There we go. There's one. And we want the same on the wire next to it. There we go. And cut down. And oh, I didn't do a very good job with that one. So let's try again. Alright. And then we're going to pull that off. And we want to clean up these wires. And the way we're going to do that is we have to see you have all kinds of loose wires hanging around there. You want to twist them to make it nice and neat and tidy, so it will nice and easily go in to that butt connector. Both of these, let's say, I've actually got a little more here than I do here. And easiest way to even them up a bit is just take a pair of scissors and cut off the excess. And we're going to do the same with the lamp wire. We're going to take, we want about 1/4 inch. I'm going to strip that insulation off of there. There we go. And the same on the other wire. Go. Nope, I don't think I did a good job on this one either, so let me try again. Alright. There we are. Take that off. And again, clean up the wires. Twist them so there's no little stray wires flying around. Just nice and clean. There we go. This one again, I've got a little bit too much. No, I think that's fair. So, we don't need this anymore. What we need to do is take our butt connector. You see there's a metal piece in there. And this whole thing is one straight little rod with a flared tip at each end. And when you put your wire into the end of this, you're going to crimp it right when the flared part stops, right when it starts being one continuous little rod. So you want to take your wire, put it inside of this butt connector, and you're going to push it until it stops. Oh, there we go. It stops. It won't go in there any further. And then we have our crimping tool. Now this, if I did not tell you, I believe I did, but I'm going to tell you again. This is a 1822 gauge butt connector. And this is one of the smallest ones you can get. And it's usually color coded. It's color coded. This is red. And on our crimping tool, if you can see, this is the crimping section up at the top. There is a, I'm not sure if that looks red to you or not, but that is a red dot. So it's color coded with the butt connector. And so this is the section on the crimping tool you want to use to crimp this. And we're going to go here, right at the end of that flared part. Put it on there. Make sure our wire is still in there firmly, and then just press down on this and squeeze it till it crimps it. You see, that's in there nice and tight. It's not going to come out. We're going to do the same and connect our lamp wire into the other end of this. Again, as I said, we did not find a ground wire, so it doesn't matter which one of these we put in here, which one we connect to which one. So we're going to put that in there nice and tight till it won't go any further. Take our crimping tool and see, I think we're going to have to put our crimping tool on it first before we put it in there. So we're going to spread this apart a little bit to give us a little more room. There we go. We've got that held in the correct section on the crimping tool. We'll put our wire in there. There we go, so it's good and tight. And squeeze that down to crimp it. You see, that is in there good, that is crimped, that is not coming apart, that's made your connection. And do the same with the other side. Put that wire right in your butt connector till it stops. Find your red dot at the top of the crimping tool. That's the crimping section you want. And then right where the flare stops. You see that? That's where we're going to crimp it. Make sure that wire is still in there good and tight, and just squeeze to crimp that. There you go, it's crimped. That's in there good and tight. Do the other side. Push that in there. This side we had a little bit of a problem with, so we're going to make sure that we are on the correct place of our crimping tool, and we have it ready so we can put this wire in here till it stops, and we're going to squeeze that down to crimp it into place. There we go. Now, see that? They're both in there good. They're connected. We're going to push this wire coming from our chandelier back in. Okay. And see, there you are. It's done. Your wiring's all done. It's connected. All we have to do now is make sure that we put a bulb in our chandelier, plug this in, and make sure that it works. And let's see, if you notice, it's down there far enough, we're not even going to see it. It's going to stay right underneath the lamp. But there you are. You have wired your lamp. You just need to test it, make sure it works, and we're going to go on to finishing our chandelier lamp. we have finished building our chandelier lamp. We have wired it, put it together. We have a light bulb in it. We've tested it. We know that it works. The next part of this project is to put on all the chandelier crystals. And frankly, I am not going to film that because it is the longest part of this project. It takes a very long time to complete. But I am going to complete it, and I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like when it is completed. Now, I will tell you that if you have any concerns about hanging the crystals, the instructions that are sent with this chandelier are not very good as far as assembling it, but it is very good about showing you how to hang the crystals, and that's what's the one nice thing about this. So it should not be difficult for you to do. Go ahead, do it. It's going to take a long time, but the end result is going to be fabulous. I wanted to interject here because we've finished assembling, converting our chandelier into a lamp. And the last thing we have to do before we complete this project is put on the crystals. But this is the time where if you want to get creative, you can do it. Because before you put those crystals on, there are so many ways that you can use your imagination to customize the chandelier to your own taste. You can actually, if you cover the light bulb fixtures, you can paint the chandelier frame. If you like a gothic look, you can paint it a black wrought iron color. If you like bronze, you can paint it a brown color. You can paint it red. You can paint it white or pink. Whatever you want to do. And also, since we saved so much money on this project, another thing you could do is all over the web there are websites that sell chandelier crystals. And if you prefer, you can buy chandelier crystals that are red, green, or even black. All you need to do is use your imagination. You have no limits except for the limits of your imagination. And customize this thing the way you want, according to your style, your liking, and however you want it to look in your home. But if you want to, now's the time to do it, because we put those crystals on that chandelier, it's finished. We finished our chandelier lamp. We finally put the crystals on it. It's completed. We'll be able to look at how it looks completely together with the crystals on. It wasn't difficult. The entire project took us about 3 hours. And maybe, for me, 2 hours to put the crystals on. It wasn't difficult, it was just a bit time consuming. But that's okay, because the end result is a beautiful product. And you, I hope, at the point where before we put these crystals on, I hope you took the time to customize this to your particular taste. Whether you painted it, made it black, put different colored crystals on it, whatever you did that expresses you, your taste, and your style, the way you want it to look in your home. Now, when I stopped this video before, we had put the entire frame of this chandelier onto this lamp. We attached it, and that was where it stopped until this video when I came back in and I showed you with the crystals on it. But if you had difficulty before this putting this entire chandelier frame together, don't worry, I did make a video of me assembling the entire chandelier before this point. And if you would like to see that, please let me know in the comments below, and I will post that video later on. Now this lamp we are going to bring over to this table where it's going to sit in the corner, and that's going to be its permanent home. And we have completed our chandelier lamp. I hope everybody liked this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope it made you realize that you can actually do a project like this, and that it's actually much simpler than you would imagine it would be, and that you can do your own. You can do it inexpensively, and you can do it in a style that you love, from the most simple to the most elaborate. So don't be afraid to let yourself shine and make the kind of lamp that you love and that you want, that really expresses you and your home and your style. Now, next time we are going to be using the shade that was on this lamp before we converted it into a chandelier lamp, and we're going to be making a really fancy candy dish. So I hope you'll join me for that. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And everybody, stay fabulous.